Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to another video here. So I really want to get into this thing here with Norman Reedus. He did an interview the other day, I'm assuming, or maybe it was today. I'm not entirely sure when this interview actually happened. I don't actually see a date on here, but it seems like this is very, very new, and it's because he's obviously promoting his new book here called The Ravaged. Honestly, I don't know what it's about. I'd actually like to know what it's about, but I wouldn't mind getting that book. I think that would be kind of cool. I mean, the cover looks really badass, so I might consider picking that up. But yeah, Norman Reedus teased something here for the Daryl spinoff that I really want to get into here. And man, I definitely am really exciting. I mean, I don't know what else this means. You probably already got it from the title and whatnot. But this, again, if it's not Rick, who else is it? If it's not Rick, it's Michonne, or there is another possibility, but it's very unlikely, and I'll explain why in a second. So obviously, before we go any further, make sure to be a subscriber if you do want to get all of my Walking Dead content like this. I got this article here from Iron and Air. Actually, I originally got it from the Walking Dead World on Twitter, and then I saw the article, it came from here. So I'll leave a link to the article down below. He actually gets into some really interesting things here regarding, you know, what it was like to actually film in like the last day and just everything sort of in general. And a lot of it is about the book. And yeah, definitely, I really recommend it. Definitely go check it out. But the big quote here that everyone is talking about right now is, I guess the journalist asks, you know, or kind of says like a bittersweet end for sure, but I understand you're getting a spinoff. And then Norman Reedus says, yeah, I was going to do a spinoff, me and Melissa, we were going to do it together, but she wanted to take a break and she deserves a break. And in the meantime, they were like, hey, do you want to go on a mission while she's taking some time? And I'm like, yeah, let's effing go on a mission. So I'll be going to Europe doing a mission. Some of our characters are lost and maybe I'll run into one or two of them. So that part there. So first of all, I mean, before we even get into that, I like this part of it here because he says that Melissa wanted to take a break. So he's just like, okay, cool, you can take a break. So I wonder if like, you know, at that point, they're like, well, maybe we won't do the spinoff then. But then AMC offered Norman Reedus, like, well, if you don't want to do that, maybe in the meantime, you'll go on a mission sort of thing. And then that's what we're doing, right? Like, let's actually go on a mission here. And so then he actually says, he's like, so I'll be going to Europe doing a mission. Some of our characters are lost and maybe I'll run into one or two of them. So which characters are lost? Obviously, right now on The Walking Dead, there's only 3 characters that are technically kind of lost, I guess you would say, right? And that is Rick, Michonne, and Heath. First off, with Rick, I mean, he's not technically lost. We know he's lost, right? But like our characters think he's dead. So, I mean, obviously they're likely going to find out that he's alive in the last 8 episodes at some point, right? I mean, like with all the evidence that we have so far about this and what the spinoffs are going to be about, it's practically confirmed at this point. Like they're going to find out, right? Like they have to find out. And so, you know, at that point, it's going to be, you know, some of our characters are lost. So Rick at that point will be lost. And yeah, let's go on a mission. Let's go actually find them. And I am really interested in it. I actually am very interested in how all of this is going to turn out because, I mean, first of all, there's Rick, but there is also Michonne. Like what if they offered Denai Guerrera, you know, a chance to come back for a couple of episodes. And so they meet Denai Guerrera in Europe, right? That would be insane. That would be so crazy to actually have Michonne, you know, come back to the show. I'd be so excited. And then there's also Heath. Now, I'm just going to say Heath isn't an option. I'm just going to say that. Like, I really don't even want to entertain that idea. I think Heath is dead. I really feel like Heath at this point is just gone. He wasn't really a big character, and for him to come back out of nowhere, I would just be like, I mean, I guess he was a cool character, but I don't know. I'm just so sick and tired of all the Heath theories already. Like, there's other more interesting characters like Michonne, right, or Rick that are actually lost out there. So I think it'd be cooler to see them. And so let's actually talk about that. You know, I think for me personally, well, I guess Rick would be the best option because we all want to see Rick. But I feel like story-wise, the character that you want to run into first would be Michonne, right? I actually really like that idea. And again, there's another option, and we'll talk about that right now, I guess, and then we'll get into the Michonne stuff right away. And that is that some of our characters on the show go missing. Now, I just don't see this being likely just because, again, you're sort of ending The Walking Dead in a way on like a cliffhanger, right? You're kind of ending it like that's these characters went missing and we're not going to find out basically what happens to them unless you watch the spinoffs. And like, you know, like I'm just viewing it as like, I always view television shows and writing and stuff like that based off of how it's going to be viewed like 40 or 50 years from now. And some people are going to be watching it. And if it ends on a cliffhanger in any way where people actually have to go and watch the next show or whatever, you know, it's going to be confusing. So you kind of want to end The Walking Dead in a way that makes sense. And I think that's why there's going to be a lot of stuff. Like, that's kind of why I like on The Walking Dead that they've sort of played it in a way where everyone thinks that Rick is dead. But I will say it is a little awkward with Michonne leaving. Like, Michonne knows and Judith knows, right? Virgil kind of a little bit, like they know that Rick's alive. So it is a little awkward that they're not finding out right now, right? Like it's just, I don't know. That's the only part that I don't like, but obviously they want to save that for the end, right? Like they want to save it for the final 8 episodes, but that's the only part about it I think that's a little awkward, because I think people 40, 50 years from now are going to be wondering about that. Like, didn't they find out he was alive? Michonne went out there. Where the hell is she? Why isn't she coming back yet? Because they're not going to know of any of the spinoffs and all that stuff, right? Like they might have some awareness of it and know that it goes somewhere eventually, but like in terms of the actual show, you know, they're not going to have the context that we have where we're finding out little bits of information between each season or between episodes kind of thing. And so personally, I just don't view it like other characters are going to go missing. There's no way, you know, characters like Carol, I mean, obviously it won't be Carol, but like Connie, you know, like if Connie went missing, I could totally see Daryl being like, I have to go find her. You know, I mean, I guess if it was anybody, Eugene, anyone, I just don't see that being the possibility for the ending of those characters. I really don't. I really don't see it. I actually think what it's going to be is Daryl and them find out that Rick's alive, and they kind of like they know where he is. They may know where Michonne is. Who knows? Jadis might come back and tell them, right? Like I think they're going to find out because of that. And that's why they're going to Europe. I strongly believe that's exactly what's going to happen here. And I think it would be really cool if Michonne was over there already, right? Imagine Daryl's over there and it's season 1. And he's basically trying to survive. There's running zombies, this and that. He's trying to find out any sort of evidence of Rick's survival. There's going to be some CRM plot, blah, blah, blah. But eventually you get to like episode 5 or 6, if it's only going to be 6 episodes. Again, the Daryl spinoff, we have no idea. It could be like 10 episodes, but it could be 6 as well. But imagine if near the end, or like around episode 7 or 8 or 4, 5, 6, whatever, he runs into Michonne. That would be so good. You know, and obviously they would get that reunion. They would talk about some stuff, and then, man, you know, just to find out where Rick is and whatnot, that'd be super cool. And I actually think it all makes the most sense, and I think that's why we're waiting so long for the Rick spinoff, the Rick movie, which technically is, I guess, the Rick spinoff. It's weird. For me, the Rick movie is sort of the main event. Like the Daryl spinoff and the Maggie spinoff to me are like actual spinoffs, but the Rick movie is like The Walking Dead. Like they literally might as well just call it The Walking Dead, because like, I don't know, to me Rick is The Walking Dead. So like, yeah, I don't know, I think that title would just work. But yeah, and if it's not Michonne, the only other character is Rick. So again, I don't think it's going to be Heath. I'm throwing that option away. I don't think it's going to be characters that go missing in the final season. I don't see that being a storyline. So it really only comes down to Rick and Michonne, right? It's going to be one of those two characters, and Michonne seems like it's the most likely. But I could also see Rick as well. Because what if Rick actually makes an appearance in the Daryl spinoff, right? What if there is some crossover with the spinoff a little bit and with the movies? That is a possibility. Like they could do that if they want. And again, if you actually get into the quote here, he says, so I'll be going to Europe doing a mission. Some of our characters are lost, and maybe I'll run into 1 or 2 of them, right? So it seems like he's going on a mission because there's characters that are lost. So he's going on a mission to save them, basically. And then he says, and maybe I'll run into 1 or 2 of them. So I don't think it's, you know, planned that Rick will make an appearance there or Michonne, but it seems like that's basically the general premise of this television show. Is it's going to be Daryl, you know, going to Europe to go and find Rick. Maybe he finds out that Michonne's over there, and so that's why he's going, right? I mean, personally, I could see it being a thing where maybe Maggie and Negan are going to find Michonne, because maybe they have proof that Michonne went to New York. Because Michonne literally just left, right? So it makes sense. And then maybe Daryl's actually going to Europe to find Rick. I think this is super cool. And I mean, again, seeing this quote basically to me confirms it. Like it confirms that this is exactly what the storyline is going to be. Obviously, they're not going to come right out and confirm it. Like, they're not going to do that, which makes the most sense. Like, they're not going to want to come out and confirm something like this when they still have the last 8 episodes to air, and obviously they want to build up hype for this. So, for me, I'm totally cool with this. Honestly, I'm very, very excited about all this, and I think the spinoff's going to be big. I really think the spinoff is going to be big, and I really do think they're going to announce something Rick-related this year regarding the movie. Personally, I don't think it's going to be a movie title because I mean, it depends. Like, they're filming the Daryl spinoff this year, but they don't have a title, and they never had a title for World Beyond until like way later. Sometimes it takes a long time, or sometimes they have it already, just like with the Maggie and Negan spinoff, right? All the Dead. So I don't think we're going to get a title unless they already know, but what I do think we're going to get is confirmation that they're filming during a certain date. Like, they'll say, yeah, we're filming this spring, and I think they're going to give us a release date. There's going to be something that's a little bit more concrete. I do think Andrew Lincoln will talk about it, and I think they're going to be completely ready to go. I really think that they just want to end The Walking Dead this year. I think they want to focus on putting this out, getting this completely done, and then they focus on the next chapter, which is the spin-offs and the movies, right? Which makes the most sense. I mean, they've been working on the script for a very long time. They haven't been wanting to talk about it for a while. Norman Reedus said last summer that the scope kind of has changed with everything with the Rick movie. And again, I think that has to do a lot with just the storylines, which characters are going to be there. Is the movie going to be something that like all of the characters show up in the second movie or third movie, where it's literally like the Walking Dead cast is together again? Or is it just going to be a one movie thing? Or are the movies not going to be like a Rick trilogy, but more of just like Walking Dead movies, right? Where Rick is the main character there, but then they do spinoffs like the Daryl spinoff and the Negan spinoff. And then they just have a bunch of those things sort of, just kind of like this cinematic universe, just sort of crossovers and all of that. I think that's probably what they're doing now, and it all makes a lot of sense. But I'm going to leave it here. Make sure to post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.